Is Apple finally taking cues from Android? Recent reports suggest that iOS 17 may introduce some controversial changes that mirror Android features. One such potential change is the allowance of sideloading, and Apple may be revamping its voice assistant, Siri, to compete with the likes of Alexa and Google Assistant. Join us in this video as we discuss these iOS 17 features.
Let's check it out.
Release date. Apple has maintained a yearly September schedule for the release of new iOS versions for the past few years. And as consumers anticipate the first developer beta for iOS 17 to be released soon enough during Apple's annual Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC, in June 2023. We may anticipate the final release of iOS 17 to take place in mid-September, directly following the debut of the iPhone 15 series in early September. And we might be in for some surprises when iOS 17 is released next September, as it is rumored to feature some significant updates that will only be available on iOS for the first time.
I just can't wait.
Installation of third-party apps. We are all aware of Apple's reputation for being strict when it comes to security and safeguarding consumers' privacy when using Apple products.
There's no doubt about that.
Currently, Apple's App Store has strict guidelines and review processes that ensure the safety of apps before they are made available to users. In truth, numerous requests and proposals to Apple to approve different channels for developers to distribute their programs outside of the App Store via websites or third-party app stores have fallen on deaf ears. But recently, speculations have surfaced about a European Union legislation that will go into force in 2024 and appears to be compelling Apple to allow sideloading on iOS devices, placing the corporation in a precarious position. If Apple does decide to allow sideloading in iOS 17 or any future updates, it could potentially have both positive and negative effects on users. On one hand, sideloading would allow users to install apps outside of the App Store, which could provide more flexibility and access to a wider range of apps. For example, users could download apps that are not available on the App Store or install apps that have been removed from the App Store due to policy violations or other reasons. On the other hand, sideloading can pose some risks to users, as it can increase the likelihood of downloading malicious apps that contain viruses, malware, or other security threats that are hardly encountered while using iOS devices. In light of the circumstances, Mark Gurman has predicted that Apple's software engineers are trying to open up important components of the company's platform, and sideloading on iPhones and iPads will soon be made possible.
Oh, wait. This is interesting.
Adding to the gravity of the situation, Bloomberg says that Apple may even widen the ecosystem's opening to encompass the camera, NFC stack, and browser engine. All browsers on the iPhone currently use Apple's WebKit engine, although that may change in the future. The corporation has also received harsh criticism for only supporting Apple Pay on its devices. But Apple may soon relax its rigorous restrictions and allow other payment companies to incorporate their services, according to sources. This implies that Apple's competitors, like Stripe and Square, may soon have the chance to create their own comprehensive solutions for Apple. Additionally, Apple is said to be working on ensuring that users are still protected from some of these issues that may arise from sideloading.
Wow, pretty cool, huh?
To help protect against unsafe apps, Apple is discussing the idea of mandating certain security requirements, even if software is distributed outside its store. Such apps also may need to be verified by Apple, a process that could carry a fee. Within the App Store, Apple takes a 15% to 30% cut of revenue, says Gurman. Also, according to a report from the Indian Express, Apple may restrict sideloading to the EU only and stick with its existing approach in other nations. While this will be a drastic adjustment that Apple is not particularly interested in accomplishing but needs to do nevertheless due to external pressure from the EU.
Obviously, we'll have to comply. We have no choice, as we do around the world, to comply to local laws.
It is anticipated that Apple will begin a more willing journey of leveling up with its voice assistant.
That's good.
In order to stay up to date on tech news like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of our regular updates. Siri upgrades. The initial generation of smartphone AI was introduced by Siri, but we've not had the best of experiences with her.
Oh, that is bad.
There is no denying that in terms of AI voice assistants, Siri still lags behind Alexa or Google Assistant. And despite Apple's repeated claims that it is enhancing Siri, there hasn't been a discernible improvement over time. In fact, AI language models like ChatGPT have raised the threshold for how we anticipate being able to converse with AI, and Siri demands more than just 20% better than last year. Reports say that Apple is working on some changes, including switching from saying,
Hey Siri.
in order to summon the voice assistant to simply saying,
Siri.
followed by the user's desired request, just like you would do with Alexa.
Alexa, what time is it?
And we hope that this and other changes will finally bring significant improvements to Siri.
Let's hope so.
What are your main hopes for iOS 17 when it launches this year in September? Comment below and let us know. What else should we anticipate from Apple? The highly anticipated top-end iPhone 15 Ultra model has already been the subject of numerous leaks. You can find all of these leaks in our upcoming video, iPhone 15 Ultra Leaks. Why it's not worth waiting for. Be sure to check it out. We will see you in the next video.
If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe below.